All right, so Austin, I got you came in late. I got Austin, Ryder, Alec, Jose, Noel, John, Arthur. You guys are all checked in. So Jose Cornejo, you have not shown up. Donna, Victor Gallegos, Eric, Brandon. Okay. Okay, so here's, I'm gonna go to my pin video. Okay. Okay, it's me. That's what you guys should be seeing on the screen, right? So we're gonna take the midterm. You're gonna take the midterm. I've already taken it several thousand times. And just to let you know, typically, a midterm test for me is that, right? 5 pages, 50 questions, 4 answers each. There's 4 or 5, I think maybe 4 true and false, maybe 5 true and false. But let's just, for purposes of this discussion, let's call it 50 questions, 4 answers per question. Okay, so that's 250 pieces of information. 50 questions, 4 answers per question, right? So that's 5 times 50 is 250. So to get this stuff on the quiz, in the quiz format, the format you guys are going to take it, that's now available to you to take it in, it's been a process of me on the computer getting the quiz bank up, going to my Word doc, clicking on it, highlighting and copying the question, going back, click on the Canvas, back into the quiz shell, paste the question, go back to my Word doc, highlight and copy one answer, go back to Canvas to the quiz section, paste the one answer, go back 3 more times to get the 3 other answers. You follow me? It's insane. But now that I've got one test banged out, I can start adding questions to the question bank and it'll get easier, but man, it's just been crazy. But for you guys, it should be pretty simple. You should be able to just click on that test and go to quiz. It's worth 100 points. There's 50 questions. There are actually 53 questions. You'll see that each question, the first 50 are worth 2 points apiece. And then the last 3 are bonus questions. They are also worth 2 points, but they're bonus questions outside of the 100. So if you answer them correctly, they're not multiple choice, it's a write-in. And I'll access those in a whole different way. But let's just say that you missed, let's say you missed 6. Missing 6 is minus 12%, which would give you an 88%, which is a solid B. But if you answer all 3 of those bonus questions correct, even one of them correct, that's going to put you into the A, put you into A minus or a solid A. If you get all 6, that's 6%, all 3, that's 6 percentage points on top of your 88. That gives you 94 points, which puts you into solid A territory. So answer the bonus questions if you're able to. They're bonus questions because they're easy. And they're not necessarily about woodworking. They're about me and stuff that I've shared with you. And if you've been paying attention, you'll get them easy. But really, try. If you don't answer a question, you got it wrong. After midnight tonight, you'll be able to go on to Canvas and see what you missed or didn't miss. Just a couple things I want to tell you before I turn you loose. And one is door casings, right? There's a lot of questions about door casings in here, and one of them has to do with the most common method of casing. And the most common method of casing, if you don't remember, and I just want to make sure, I know I've stressed this a bunch of times, but it looks like this. That's the most common method. Okay, I'll let you figure out what that is. And So do you remember we learned about board feet? You got a couple, you have some board feet questions in here and you got to translate them because I give you pricing too. Some without pricing, some with pricing. But when I was building, we bought fir for $415 a thousand, $415 a thousand. I just bought a bunch of fir yesterday, 2x4 and 2x6. 2x4s are $1,250 a thousand. They're $1,250 a thousand versus $415. So they're actually over 3 times. And in just the last 3 weeks since these wildfires month, they've doubled. So and it doesn't look like it's going to go down anytime soon. So that's kind of disconcerting for pricing. Now, something that I never did tell you about ever, and there's a question on the test about it. So I'm going to tell you now. And if there are people, anybody come here that wasn't here earlier? Why am I only seeing 6 people? That's weird. Oh, wait. So Ryder, Arthur, you guys have all been here. So nobody's added. So, okay.
I just got here, Rod.
Who's here?
Jose Cornejo.
Oh, good. Okay, Jose, let me make sure I get you here because it counts. By George, Jose Cornejo. All right. So Donna, you're not here. Victor, you're not here. Eric Mendez, you're not here. Brandon Pasgallo, no. Okay. Okay, so we haven't talked about plastic laminates, and plastic laminates is a pretty cool part of finish work. It's a part that a lot of people specialize in. It's a specialty trade, but it's pretty much part of the finished carpenter's art, doing plastic laminates. And when I say plastic laminates, I mean high pressure laminates. An example of low pressure laminates would be melamines, vinyls. High pressure laminates are on phenolic backs usually, and they are mostly known as Formica. It's like, a tissue is sometimes called a Kleenex, where high pressure plastic laminates are sometimes called Formica, but they're not all Formica. There's Formica, Nevamar, Wilson Art, Pionite, Avet Laminati, and probably 6 or 7 more that I'm not going to name. So in high pressure laminate, contact cement is used to bond the high pressure laminate, the phenolic back. Picture this as a piece of high pressure laminate. It's not, it's mirrored stainless, to bond to a substrate. And that substrate is usually particle board, industrial particle board. It can be MDF, it can be plywood, it can be a variety of substrates, but it's typically a piece of sheet goods that the laminate's bonded to. And so it becomes like that table is vinyl, I think. Yeah. No, that table's actually laminate. So this saw table is actually laminate. So that gray, you see where it's cut? And if you look inside the cut, I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can see the black edge. That's the phenolic back. Because the laminate, and I'm not going to go too much into laminates because laminates this whole other thing, and I might just do that at another point, but laminates come in post-forming, vertical grade, and countertop grade. And pretty much we use countertop grade and post-forming. And they're, I think, 0.016, 0.020, and 0.025 in thickness for what it's worth, which is nothing right now. But back to this thing that I haven't told you about, and you may or may not know about, but there's a question on the test. So plastic laminate is bonded to the substrate with contact cement. Now, the thing about contact cement is you roll it out or brush it out or spray it out on the substrate and on the phenolic back part of the laminate. When those things become tack-free, when you can take a piece of tissue paper and touch both surfaces and the paper doesn't stick to them, depends on temperature, going to take anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, then they can be put together. And there's a whole process of putting them together and flush trimming, which I also won't go into, but suffice to say that when you are laminating with contact cement, the word contact is the key word. Okay? Contact. And I'm going to let you figure that out. And let's just see how many of you listened, how many of you got it. And of course, the people that aren't here to hear this, then, well, they're just not going to get it. So hopefully they know about plastic laminates. I'm having less and less tolerance for people that can't seem to make it to a 6 o'clock class. And what could you possibly be doing when you can't get anywhere at 6 o'clock? You're done working, right? And why haven't you called me? I'm ranting. You know, my wife comes back tonight and I have been so pissed at her. It's everything I can do just to maintain. I'm going to maintain. I'm going to be nice to her when I pick her up. And then I'm going to let her have it later. But initially, I'm going to be really nice to her. Chapter 19 and 21. So there's questions on the test that have to do with chapter 5. And I've assigned you all of chapter 5. So there are questions about different things in chapter 5. Not just that one time we went over the first 2 or 3 pages, but the whole chapter. There are questions. And I do refer to the chapter and the part of the chapter. So look at the book. Find the answers. You can find them. They're there. I think they're relatively easy. There is one question that I give you a reference for chapter 19. And chapter 19, by the way, which is 21 in the 12th edition. And also I give you both. If I give you 2 numbers, if I say chapter da-da-da and da-da-da, one's for 11 and one's for 12. You can figure it out. If it doesn't work for your book, use the other one. It will work. So I've cross-referenced those. We're going to be studying 19 and 21. That'll be on your next week as an assignment. But in the meantime, there's one question from there which you may know the answer. We've covered anyway, but it's from doors and interior trim is 19 and 21 in the 12th edition. Okay, so there's one question that references 19 and 21, and you can go find it. It references the exact spot it is. You'll still have to do some reading, and don't just read the paragraphs, read the stuff that's with it, right? So don't just read this part of the book. Don't forget some of the answers that you seek might be in somewhere in here. They might be in somewhere in there. They might be in one of these guys. Okay. You got from when I turn you loose, which won't be too long from now. Well, you have from 6 to 10. You have 4 hours to do this test. So if you need more time than that, call me up and I'll give you more time. But I'm supposing you won't need more time than that. You can call me up and tell me why you're having such a hard time, and I'll find a way to give you more time. But I think you can get it done, and then just make sure you checked it and double checked it before you turn it in, and then you can see what your correct answers are. If you want, after midnight, they'll show up. Otherwise, we're going to be going over them next week. Yeah, and also something I'll tell you about Windows. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but in setting Windows, installation of Windows, just like that window right there, that window and all other windows are set. What? Somebody unmute yourself and chime in and tell me what I'm saying. They're set. All windows are set plumb and level and square. Okay. All windows. Now, do you remember board foot? There's the formula right over there. Thickness times width times length divided by 12 times the number of pieces. That gives you board feet. Thickness times width times length in feet divided by 12. That will give you the board feet in one board. And then if you have multiple boards, you got to do obviously times those many boards. So the math is relatively simple. If you don't get the math or if you have problems with it, I'll help you. We'll go over it next week. But in the meantime, you're going to be kind of on your own. But really, how on your own are you? Because I'm going to leave the class at one point, and I'll probably go ahead and just end the whole thing for everybody, and then you guys will have access to your Canvas and you can take the test, and it'll be a short or a long night for you, depending upon how you do, right? Yeah, I think that's all I pretty much had to give you. I wanted to show you a couple things. This 18 gauge stainless steel, this is mirrored stainless. This is kind of scratched up. I had this job on the piano house that I built, that doing this fireplace wall and mirrored stainless, and just a nightmare of a job because we had to scribe around. And I'll show you. I got a couple of very short, videos. How can I get to this? Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Can you say the thing about the windows one more time? That they're all set. What?
Plumb, level, and square.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. All windows, those three things, plumb, level, and square. I got to figure out how to get out of here. Let's go to full screen. Oh, I know. I'm going to stop the share for a second. Oh, wait, I'm not sharing the screen. That's why. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to share the screen and I want to show you. Oh, come on. These damn meeting controls, you just get in the way of everything. All right. So this fireplace wall, this mirrored stainless, we had to make 1/2-inch plywood templates, and then had those templates had stainless, this mirrored stainless, this 18 gauge stainless, built to the templates and then bent and returned on the ends. And then this is what we got right here. I'd probably be out here in an hour. I just can't get over how nice that looks. Yeah. I mean, the installation is actually, it came out better than I thought it would. Yeah, it was a bear, I'll tell you. Had no room. Doing all that. We had no room whatsoever.
Did you just use mirror panel adhesive, or what did you use?
Personally, I've always.
Shut up! I hate you. So, Alec, ask your question again.
Did you just use mirror or panel adhesive, or what did you use?
Gardner, let me get out of that. I'm going to answer your question in half a second. Come on. Okay. What we used, I researched the glue. I needed a high heat adhesive. So we married the stainless to the plywood with cyanoacrylate.
Yeah, CA glue.
Crazy glue. And then we put the plywood to the wall with Gorilla Max. It's a clear panel adhesive. And I'm telling you, that stuff is beyond belief. I highly recommend that stuff. I thought we were going to have to kick it off a whole lot more than we did. And I'll explain more of this. I'll explain more about this next week. I just kind of wanted you guys to see the finished product, and I'll show you some of the way we kicked it off. All right, I already saw this one. All right, let's get out of this. Where are we at? Create video. Escape. Stop the share. Okay. Where was I? Showed you a little bit of that. The questions. Do you guys have any? Anybody have any questions for me? Any questions at all? Let's go back to here. Okay, I got just John. That is so weird. View. Okay, here we go. Gallery view. Now I got everybody. So anybody have any questions? Okay, so I told you a few things that on the test. I just wanted to make sure that I kind of reiterated them. That thing about contact cement. Think about it when you get to that question. Think about what contact, operative word, contact cement means. Told you about, reiterated about windows. You should all just kill the test. You should kill it. You can use your books. You can go back in the Canvas shell and look at the recordings. If you want to try to find it, you can look at the videos that we saw. It's all on your Canvas shell to pull out these answers. Okay, and my phone will be on. So if you get stuck or it's something is not working for you, you need some clarification, whatever, just call me up. There's no reason for me to stick around here. You guys are just doing the test, and next week I'll find something funner to do. Next week, part of what we'll do, I'm planning to do the casing, but I want to show you some of the steps and describe that finish work on that mirrored wall, and just how I know seeing it doesn't give you the full picture of what we had to go through to make that fit with that bronze, full, life-size bronze statue, 2 legs coming out of the wall, and then her head is like a 1/2 inch, and the material's 1/2 inch, and there's a 1-inch pin. So there's a 1-inch pin at the back of her head, and then her legs. Anyway, it was a piece of work, a piece of scribing work. Oh, that's what I want to show you. That's what I want to show you. I want to show you this little 3-minute video. Oops, damn, that's not what I want to do. I want to show you this 3-minute video.
We're going to do a perfect scribe line, cut it out, and it's going to fit perfectly. And we're going to conform it to. What we're going to do is we're going to take. Now I have a piece of wood here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of wood and we're going to conform it to this wall here. We're going to do a perfect scribe line, cut it out, and it's going to fit perfectly. I'm going to show you that technique. Okay, so before we start to scribe, make certain that your pencil has a nice sharp edge. There's nothing worse than scribing with a dull pencil. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this arm, all right? And we're going to rest it up against the wall, and it's going to ride the wall. And in it riding the wall, it's going to transfer a mark to the lumber below. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay it down like this. I've got this arm resting snugly against the wall, okay? Now I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to tip it in. Okay, so here's our scribe line here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down to the shop, and I'm going to cut out the waist side. That's the waist side there. Then I'll bring it back up, and we're going to fit it into place, and you're going to see how this works.
See how that saber saw is chattering the shit out of the cross grain of that wood, of that plywood or whatever it is? It just, that is so completely unacceptable. And it's 2 ways, that doesn't have to happen. All you got to do is score that on top with a razor knife or use a sharper blade, one or the other.
Okay, so there it is. You got to fit it in nice and tight. Now I want you to come in close because I want you to see how nice and tight and clean the edge is. So let me show you a little pro tip here about scribing. The thing is, sometimes your hand's not the steadiest when you're using a jigsaw or a saw. Sometimes it's best not to cut on the line. Just kind of snug up close to the line when you're cutting with that jigsaw, okay? And then what you do is you take a sander and you sand up to the line. That way you can really get the piece of wood.
And a 4-inch hand grinder is what's, oh crap. Sorry. A 4-inch hand grinder is what's happening with that, with scribing. So back to me. So anybody have any questions about the test or anything else? Okay, and then, yeah, Alec, I'll talk to you later about that, all right? Maybe tomorrow, okay? Without chatting back, we'll talk tomorrow. And you guys just do the test, do good on the test, okay? Good luck on the test. You can find the answers. I know you can. Even if you weren't here, you can go. We recorded, except for the parts I forgot to put on record. But I'm pretty sure that none of the questions pertain to those parts of those lectures. So you should do well. As a matter of fact, I'm expecting A's for everybody. Everybody on board with that? Yeah. Michael, did you shave or something? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm kind of messed up on it, so I had to restart.
You look like
Yeah,
a different person, man.
I know. I feel like I just turned 21, and I feel like I'm 15.
Yeah, no, it's weird because I wore a full beard from about age 20 to age 50, 49 or 50. And when I shaved, I remember walking through my kitchen into my hall, and my youngest daughter walked out of her room and screamed when she saw me, because as far as she knew, some stranger was in her hallway, man. It was weird. I mean, I would literally run into people or be standing next to somebody in the grocery store that I knew, like my neighbor, right? And they wouldn't know me from Adam until I opened my mouth, and then they would figure it out. Okay, so nobody has any more questions? All right, I'm gonna let you guys take the test. Take the test, and then, hopefully you have a short night and be ready to hit it hard next Thursday, okay? Next Thursday here, I'll be here at the Wake Center. You'll be at your pads, and I'll talk to some of you in the meantime in between, and yeah, there you go, okay? Okay, no questions? And nobody's come, right? Just one last little thing here. No Donna, no Victor, no Eric, no Brandon. No? Okay. Okay, you guys, I'm shutting down the Zoom. We're good? You guys are good? You guys are okay with that? Do your test, get it done, get A's, okay? And I'll go pick up my lady and I'll try to be really nice. Even though I'm just fuming, I'll be really nice. I'm gonna be really, really nice, okay? So see you later. Night, you guys. Have fun. Do the test. Do the test now, because it's available till 10 p.m. and then it's not available.
Cool.
Okay. See you later. See you next week, everybody. Ciao.